Hey guys, Cal here, bringing you another video. I don't really remember how many days it's been. It's one more day until a month. We know that because of my name. I started on the 5th of, what is it, January, February? The 5th of February. February is a bit smaller of a month, so I think we're approaching day 30, but we're not quite there yet. I think it's just easier if you see when that is there, at least for me. But so far, what has been done, we're upgrading our laboratory and Klein Castle because that is one of the more important things. We just got to Town Hall 8, dropped everything that's not here. So if we look here, we dropped everything except for the Dark Spell Factory, a single Dark Elixir Drill, and these 4 defenses. Everything else was placed. We placed the traps, we placed the walls, and I believe we placed this 1 archer tower. Everything that was relatively short it didn't take much time, so we could quickly go on to these bigger upgrades. Um, right now, we are then going to go to our storages, but we're going to upgrade them not next because I want them to be around the same time that we do it. So when this 18 hour and this 19 hour are done, we'll probably start doing those. But next on the agenda will probably be this storage. I'm planning on upgrading these barracks really quickly because we're marching, so we don't really need the Dark Elixir troops. So being able to just pump out troops really quickly while getting these things up before we actually need the Dark Elixir troops will be a very nice thing. Also, we have the discounts where we can get training potions, but of course we're only getting them if we're free because right now we're trying to get to that 2k gem mark so we can of course get that 5th builder. But that's enough babbling. We're going to go straight into a raid. Looking good, first one, just how I like it. We're going to do a bit of surgical barching. Bases are getting a bit difficult up here, so unless we change up the army, which I mean we can do and probably will do pretty quickly once we get all our barracks to balloon status. I think switching to the balloons might help us, especially with Dark Elixir, because the Dark Elixir is a bit rough down here, or it isn't rough, but you can find it here and there, but it's usually in the center of bases, so we have to blow a lot of stuff just to like get there. So once we need the Dark Elixir, we'll start heading out in search of it with probably Lunion, or we can keep trying to find dead bases with Barch, but Barch is pretty much purely Golden Elixir. We are getting a good amount, but this 13k has been through like a while of just ever since our last episode we've gone like 13k, which is relatively slow. And because it's a speed run, we want to be able to get it at a bit faster rate than that when we are actually trying to get it. So right there, let's see, do we really want the 50%? I just said we don't really need the trophies, so we'll dip out there. A good about 300k, which is about how much I look for. I'm looking for about 100k just because of how easy it is to make the army. As long as I'm like doing barge, throwing down the thing, getting 100k relatively easy. The loot fills up relatively quickly, or at least at a rate that I can keep the things I want to upgrade upgraded, and that's kind of all that really matters. As long as you're hitting the margin of like, as long as you're hitting the amount that you need to hit within a given amount of time, it doesn't really matter if you are like maxing out. All that means is really we aren't upgrading the walls as fast as we really want to, but when it comes down to it, walls aren't as important just because of how good certain attack strategies are, like air attacks. Because we're Town Hall 8, the most popular attack I believe is either Go-Ho or Mass Dragon, and because of that, unfortunately, it doesn't really matter how good your walls are. They're mostly just there to look good, and though looking good is a high priority and very important, we might have to let that one slide just a bit for this. But as we get better troops, getting that extra loot will be easier, and of course we'll get to that point where we have enough golden elixir to get those walls up. because we do not like these little 4 walls. They be ugly. And yeah, that's going to be the 2 raids we have for today. Um, just for future, I guess, the rundown, I switched up the order, so as you can see, we're going this way and upgrading along that side. These don't upgrade until Town Hall 9, so we don't really need to worry about that. This doesn't upgrade till Town Hall 9. We're upgrading this now. Currently, while it's being upgraded, it's upgrading our heal spells, so it should be done by the time this is done. Upgrading this so we can bring more hogs in the CC, because you never know when that will work. We need to upgrade elixir and gold storages, as well as the dark elixir storage. We're going to prioritize these over the dark elixir storage. I just put it over here for the storages just because. And eventually we're going to get all these up to P.E.K.K.A.s, but we won't do that until later just because the highest level troop we need everything to be at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, level 6. So that's 9, 9, 7, 6. So it's all balloon status. So we might try some balloons, but I don't really like balloons until they're Town Hall 8 standard, so we'll have to wait for this to upgrade our balloons, and then we can start hitting those raids with the balloons. And we're just going to keep moving around. Any extra gold will go into the walls, and if the walls are done, any extra gold will go into these cheap upgrades. So, that's the plan. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.